boys and girls, it's Mrs. Spatliner. Welcome to our next story. This story is in honor of Earth Day, which is happening on the 22nd of April. And the great thing about this book is if you look in the upper left-hand corner, this book is really about math, and especially what does it say there in that black bar? Yeah, it's talking about place value. So this is not a picture book. It's not a fiction book. It is a nonfiction book. And you would find this in the 500 section if you had it in your library. And it's talking about mathematics. So today it is called Earth Day Hooray. Author is Stuart Murphy. And it's illustrated by Renee Adriani. I absolutely love this picture. Can you find the one that looks like a Pepsi can? Yeah, I see it. What about the one that looks like a Coke can? I see two, I think, that look like Coke cans. The other ones are really hard to tell by me. All right, so here is our title page. This one's kind of interesting because it does not have the author and the illustrator on it. It just has a picture. This place is a mess, said Ryan. That's why we're cleaning it up, said Carly. Come on, pitch in. The Maple Street School Saves the Planet Club was cleaning up Gilroy Park, the site of this year's Earth Day celebration. They picked up candy wrappers, crumpled newspaper, empty coffee cups, old flyers, lost tennis balls, and lots of aluminum cans. So what do you notice that boy has on? That's by the bench. Yeah, he has on some gloves. So when you are cleaning things up, it's super important that you wear gloves so that you don't get any gross things, either germs or parts of the, like maybe if the pop or the soda spills out, that it gets on your hands. Does your school have any kind of Save the Planet Club? I know that the schools that I work at, some of them have Girls on the Run clubs. They have Science Olympiad clubs. They have robotics clubs. They have Student Council, which is a club. But I don't know if any of my schools have a Save the Planet Club. Be pretty interesting. What do you notice about all those students? Yeah, they do. They're wearing their gloves. You know, said Ryan, even after we're finished cleaning the park, it won't look at all that great. Could really use some flowers at the entrance. Gilroy Park had a few trees and some grass, and that was it. So take a look at that tree. This is a real recycling fact. In 1999, recycling and composting kept about 64 billion tons of trash from ending up in landfills or being burned, which pollutes the air. So because people recycled in 1999, they kept 64 billion tons. Boys and girls, that's a lot. If we take all these cans to the recycling center instead of throwing them away, Ryan continued, they'll give us money for each can. Maybe we can make enough to buy some flowers to plant. Boys and girls, take a look at that squirrel. He looks so funny there. Mrs. Watson, the club's advisor, thought Ryan's idea was fantastic. She said, if you can get 5,000 cans, that should be enough for some really beautiful flowers. I bet we won't find that many, said Luke. Take a look at the sign that the squirrel's holding. It says companies pay recyclers about $1 billion a year to buy aluminum. So a lot of people like to recycle and hold on to their aluminum cans and then take them to a recycling place to get money. But you need a lot of cans. So there's the group's advisor. The club sorted all the cans they found. Ryan, Carly, and Luke filled many small bags with 10 cans each. When they had 10 small bags, they put them in a big bag that held 100 cans, so they would be easier to count. So if you take a look at that, 10 cans in one bag, and then 10 bags in a bigger bag, and that would make 1,000 cans. They ended up with 3 big bags of 100, 5 small bags of 10, and 9 single cans. They left the bags near the trash bins so that Mrs. Watson could pick them up that evening. So the girl in the middle, I wanted you to figure out the math. But yeah, she said, so if you have 300 bags, 5 tens bags, and 9 single cans, that's 359. I knew we couldn't get 5,000. But the next morning at school, Mrs. Watson called Ryan, Carly, and Luke to her desk. Bad news, she said. The trash collector at the park didn't realize the cans were for recycling. He took them to the dump with the rest of the trash. I knew it, said Luke. I knew we'd never do it. So Luke in the middle there, do you think he is an optimist or a pessimist? Those are 2 big words. An optimist is somebody who looks on the bright side of things. Things are going to be okay. We can do it. A pessimist is someone who says, I knew we couldn't do it. I know that we can't go outside because it's too cold. I knew it. They're kind of negative. Okay, so Luke, is he an optimist or a pessimist? Oh, most definitely. He is a pessimist. Don't give up, said Ryan. We can still collect cans. We'll have a can drive right here at school. I don't know, said Luke doubtfully. It will only work if a lot of people bring in cans. Americans use more than 80 billion aluminum cans a year. Americans save 247 million pounds of paper every day to be reused and recycled. So, boys and girls, at your school, do you recycle the paper and save it? Yeah, some of the schools that I go to, we do. We recycle it, and then we put it in a big container outside, and then they come and take the paper that's in that container. So we don't throw it into the dumps. Earth Day, hooray! Cans so far recycled, 0. Help us reach our goal of 5,000 and plant flowers in Gilroy Park. It only takes 60 days for an aluminum can to be turned in, melted down, and made into a new can. It's interesting. So 60 days from the time that you recycle it and turn it in, then it's melted down and it's made into a brand new can. How many months is 60 days? Yeah, good job. It's 2 months, about 2 months. In the year 2000, Americans recycled more than 1,500,000 pounds of plastic bottles. It's a lot of bottles. The custodian, Mrs. Jones, set up a barrel in the hallway. Luke made a big sign. Mrs. Watson helped Ryan print up a flyer announcing their goal. Carly drew a cartoon. The next day, a few kids brought in cans. After school, Ryan, Carly, and Luke went to check out the barrel. They sorted the cans into bags. They had 5 small bags of 10 and 6 single cans. That makes 56. We'll never get anywhere at this rate. Optimism or pessimism? Yeah, most definitely. He is a pessimist. Even you can tell on his face that he's not very happy. Carly wrote 56 on the sign. We need to get more kids to help, she said. Carly, Luke, and Ryan got permission to visit every class and ask for help with the can drive. Carly worked all night so she would be ready. In the year 2000, Americans recycled 1,900,000,000 pounds of aluminum. The first Earth Day celebration was on April 22nd, 1970. About 20 million people participated. And then look at Carly's outfit. We can do it. Get it? After school, Ryan, Carly, and Luke stopped at every park and field and picked up every can they saw. Now look at the dog. How many cans can you see? Yeah, it looks like I see 4 cans. The dog has one. I see one in the street. Ooh, I see more than 4. The man in the car is drinking. And then Ryan has 2 in his hands by the tree. The next morning, Ryan, Carly, and Luke brought their cans to school. They went to the barrel to drop them off. Look at all these cans, said Carly. I knew it would work. At recess, they counted the cans. They ended up with 6 big bags of 100, 3 small bags of 10, and 5 single cans. That's 635, even more than we had at the park. Do you remember how many that they need? Yeah, they need 5,000. Carly wrote the total on the sign. Mrs. Watson walked by. Going to need bigger bags, she said. I'll bring some in tomorrow. And we had 56 yesterday, so added up, it's 691. When Ryan, Carly, and Luke checked the barrel the next day, it was overflowing. We better ask Mrs. Jones for some more barrels, said Carly. They had 1 bag of 1,000 cans, 4 bags of 100, 8 bags of 10, and 3 single cans. That's 1,483. How many 100 bags are in the 1,000 bag? Very good. There's 10. There's 10 of those yellow bags in the 1 blue bag. And then there's 10 of the red bags to make a yellow bag. Carly wrote the total on the sign and remembered to put a comma between the thousands and the hundreds. When we add it to what we already had, it's 2,174. Still a long way away from 5,000. That Luke, such a pessimist. Ryan, Carly, and Luke kept working. Luke put signs up all over school. On Saturday, the members of the Save the Planet Club knocked on every door in their neighborhoods. They handed out Ryan's flyer and carried big bags for people's empty cans. The word that I'm thinking of is one of our SEL words, the 3 of them. They never gave up. They keep working, even though it's kind of slow that they're doing it. Anybody remember what that word is when you never give up? Yeah, it's persevere. We talked a lot about persevering in our SEL lessons. Recycling one aluminum can saves enough energy to keep a 100-watt light bulb burning for about 3.5 hours. Very interesting. So listen to that again. If you recycle one aluminum can, you save enough energy to keep a 100-watt light bulb burning for about 3.5 hours. Pretty good. Look at all those cans they have. On Monday morning, Ryan, Carly, and Luke couldn't dump their cans in the collection barrels because they were already full. At recess, they counted cans. By the time recess was over, they still weren't done. Mrs. Watson said they could skip spelling to finish counting. And you didn't think this was a good idea, Carly teased Luke. Great, no spelling today. So look at all those cans. Finally, they finished. They had 2 huge bags of 1,000, 8 big bags of 100, 5 small bags of 10, and 2 single cans. That's almost 3,000. It's 2,852 to be exact. Carly's pretty good. Luke wrote the numbers down. We did it, he shouted. And with the 2,174 we had before, it's 5,026. So look, because they persevered and didn't give up, look, they got their goal. Mrs. Watson took the cans to the recycling center right after school, and Saturday morning, she drove Carly, Luke, and Ryan to the plant nursery. They each picked out flowers in their favorite colors. Plant a tree, care for the air. Earth Day, hooray! That afternoon, the whole class came to Gilroy Park for the Earth Day celebration. The first thing they did was to plant the flowers at the entrance. The park looked beautiful, and there wasn't a single piece of trash anywhere. So look at all the flowers that they planted. So this was a great story that kind of represented if you have an idea and a dream, and if you work really hard at it, you can attain that goal and that dream. Okay, they wanted to get 5,000 cans so that they could get flowers for the park. In the very beginning, they didn't have hardly any, but they kept it up and kept it up and kept it up, and look, they made their goal. So I hope you kind of think about Earth Day and what you can do during Earth Day to kind of keep our planet the best planet that it could be. Because remember, this is the only planet that we have. As I tell some of my students before, I cannot go out to Walmart. I can't go to Costco. I can't go to Target and buy a new Earth. This is the only one we have. Okay. And I also think it's a great thing that you can kind of see how you can bring math into different stories that you read. All right. I will see you the next time.